greatness that night. It's about the fight. It ain't about the champion. It's about the fight. That's all I care about, the fight.
Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is...
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis.
Gervonta Davis's coach, Calvin Ford, sharply responded to Lamont during the rematch press conference, stating, "It's over. They'll see who the real champion is when the bell rings." Ford's assertive and unwavering demeanor made it clear that he has complete faith in Davis's triumph and dominance in the ring.
And sit there and say to themselves like they came from a karate movie, man, I want to fight just like Tank. I want to be just like Tank.
Gervonta Davis is entering the upcoming rematch with intense concentration and unwavering commitment. Aware of how crucial this bout is for both his legacy and career, he has meticulously prepared every element of his training. Each session is strategically designed to boost his physical fitness and sharpen his technique. This time, Davis is determined to correct previous mistakes and enter the ring as a more focused and dangerous fighter. His team is taking no risks, fully aware that this fight is essential for reaffirming his status in the sport.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling.
Reuniting with Coach Calvin Ford has breathed new energy into Davis's training atmosphere. Their deep-rooted relationship is founded on mutual respect, trust, and a solid grasp of Davis's boxing style and mentality. Ford has been instrumental in Davis's ascent, shaping his raw potential into a powerful, calculated, and aggressive competitor. This renewed collaboration brings a mix of emotional drive and strategic precision, boosting Davis's morale and ensuring that every detail of his preparation aligns with his championship ambitions.
Rematch, do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing
For Davis, this rematch is far more than just another bout. It represents a pivotal opportunity to restore his image and silence those who doubted him after the first encounter. That initial fight sparked skepticism about his rank, making the rematch a crucial turning point in his journey. A convincing victory would reassert Davis's position as one of boxing's elite and prove that the earlier result was an outlier, not a true measure of his ability. This fight carries profound personal and professional weight for Tank.
Lamont Roach, he feels that he won. Like, do you think the best thing going forward, they should just run it back, have a rematch?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think a rematch is definitely called for. And I think probably, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
So I would say, hey, let's work on a deal to where we could get in there within the next 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, I agree there.
In their first clash, Davis displayed weaknesses that hadn't surfaced in his earlier performances. His defense wasn't as tight, and his stamina declined noticeably in the later rounds. Lamont Roach capitalized on these flaws, landing punches that threw off Davis's tempo and undermined his confidence. These lapses didn't go unnoticed by fans and critics, who sensed he wasn't operating at his peak. The rematch now gives Davis the platform to fix those errors and demonstrate the full extent of his abilities.
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused, and he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch, and when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that fight.
After the bout, Dave spoke honestly about the emotional and psychological hurdles he had faced. He admitted stress and fatigue had clouded his concentration and affected his performance in the ring. The experience lasting mark on his mental state, even making him consider walking. By opening up about attending therapy, Davis exposed the depth-eternal battle, showing that the effects of fight went far beyond just physical damage. His candidness highlights the often overlooked emotional weight a boxer carries outside the spotlight.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on
In preparation for the rematch, Davis's training environment has undergone a dramatic shift. Each drill and sparring session is now filled with intensity and laser-sharp focus. His footwork has seen notable improvement, showing enhanced smoothness and stability. His reaction speed has increased, allowing him to anticipate and respond to threats with greater precision. The once laid-back training vibe has been replaced by strict discipline, signaling that Davis views this fight as a defining challenge that demands his absolute commitment.
Oh, stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
The significance of this fight goes far beyond belts and rankings. The initial draw left a dent in Davis's pride and raised doubts about his standing in the boxing world. This setback has ignited a powerful hunger for redemption and respect. Now, Davis's drive comes from a deep-rooted need to reaffirm value and restore his position among the sports. The rematch is more than a contest, a mission to reclaim dignity, legacy, and self-worth, making it a highly emotional and high-stakes showdown.
We gotta talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. in my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims on all his receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Heading into the first fight, Davis's team had thoroughly analyzed Roach's strengths and tendencies. Their game crafted with the intention of exploiting flaws in Roach's technique, while the strategy was solid on paper. Execution fell short when it mattered most. Instead of scrapping the entire plan, Davis's camp is now working to sharpen and perfect it. They are placing emphasis on cleaner execution, tighter tactics, and applying pressure in key moments, all to increase their chances of turning the strategy into victory.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. It's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put the icing on the cake. That's all. Just hit the gears a little harder. That's all. He hit the gears hard enough the last time, but boxing is a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people, unfair people. Anybody saw that first fight and said Jalil lost, they don't know boxing.
If Jalil is successful in this fight, what do you guys expect for Jalil? And then, obviously Eddie Hearn had a lot to say when Jalil took that loss.
Teofimo Lopez shared his thoughts on the aftermath of the disputed first fight. He noted Davis became increasingly isolated after the bout. Critics and boxing insiders quickly began questioning his legitimacy. Lopez how such public doubt and criticism can erode a fighter's confidence and alter how they're viewed in the sport. Marks emphasized the immense pressure Davis now faces, not just but to rebuild his credibility and reclaim his respect within the boxing community.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you're winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
The rematch carries immense weight for both fighters. It's a chance to resolve unresolved questions and solidify their positions in the world. Avoiding this bout would leave speculation unresolved and potentially tarnish both of their legacies. Davis and Roach are fully aware that this fight will be intensely remembered, making it vital that they deliver peak performance. This shared understanding fuels a heightened sense of rivalry and determination. their preparation mindset leading up to the
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis. First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day, but I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him, like, have similar personalities. Know what I mean, as far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. But everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him, like, have similar personalities. Know what I mean, as far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision?
Especially with all the other controversy too, it should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but nah, I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lesson, though?
Absolutely, you know what I mean? But you gotta just do, it seemed like, because I feel like he did, not only did he shock the world, it's like, I guess you just gotta do more on top of that. Like, you just gotta do more, I guess.
Roach's showing in the first fight impressed observers with his strategic intelligence and calm execution. He proved he could hold his own at the highest level, keeping pace with Davis's speed and matching his power. Calculated game plan. At times forced Davis onto the back foot, earning him recognition as a legitimate threat. Rematch, Roach now has the opportunity to build on that success by enhancing his, refining his accuracy, and maintaining laser-sharp focus to aim for a decisive win.
If Tank became a ballsy fighter, which he's never been, according to everybody in the DC and Maryland area, you know, like,
but there
now it's all coming out. It's all coming out.
It's
already been known before, but we never got to see it because nobody pushed Tank.
There were points early in that fight. I thought Tank was out hustling Lamont. He was just, you know, Lamont wasn't taking charge early on, and Gervonta, who's normally, but he was getting hit with straight left hands and getting turned and hit with straight left. His nose and mouth are red.
But he wants you to. But that's the thing with Tank does what Teddy Atlas yelled at Michael Moore about. Tank wants to be able to hit you and hope you leave him alone. And when you don't do that, he starts to fade and fold.
Okay,
that's not championship caliber mentality.
We're talking about two guys who weren't big punchers. Okay, 12 rounds, I can hit you and make you miss, and hit you and make you miss, and hit you.
But I can keep the game plan. You can keep the game plan.
So what if Gervonta goes out there and shows his boxing skills?
Let's compare it to, say, a Tommy Morrison, who used to blow you away, but if he couldn't, he was gone. He was gassed out after a few rounds. There's a mentality where.
But Tank's not that guy we saw against Isak Cruz. He was able.
Okay, and even there, Isak Cruz, looking back now, even Valenzuela outboxed Isak Cruz.
Okay,
dude. I mean, come on.
But did he do it?
Apply the trade. Listen, it happens.
Well, we don't know exactly.
Your hands are going to be bruised. Did he get surgery after the Isak Cruz fight? No.
I don't know. Maybe. I had a ton of surgeries. I had a ton of surgeries that the public knew nothing about. So I don't know.
I mean, they kind of know.
So Paul,
you can see where you can see hand surgery scars. You see my scars? My hand, I got a tic-tac-toe board all over my hand. When you get surgery, you can see that.
But Paulie, his argument, and you guys are on different sides of it in a different way, where he says tactically there's more to add to Gervonta. Gervonta could have done things that he did do,
physically, there's a lot he's capable
you
of.
see it mentally. Yes. Is that harder to deal with?
I believe so, because physically, Gervonta has all the goods. That's why he's sold as the product he sold at. You look at Gervonta physically: speed, athleticism, power, timing,
ability to change direction.
If this guy has balls, he's really a pound-for-pound fighter that everybody claims he is. But because he doesn't have balls, I don't know that he's even a pound-for-pound fighter. I don't even know that he would be a lightweight champion if they didn't mix and match his opponents accordingly. You know what I'm saying? He probably shouldn't even be a lightweight champion now because Lamont Roach beat him the other week.
I got a great saying. So you always say if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah.
If
Shakur Stevenson, who has sparred with Roach in the past, offered valuable insight into Roach's strengths and fight IQ. He praised Roach's defensive techniques, pointing out how well they neutralized Davis's attacking rhythm. Stevenson's endorsement adds weight to Roach's credibility as a top-tier contender. His confidence in Roach highlights the level of competition and suggests that Davis will be facing a highly skilled and tactically sound opponent. That wraps it up for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.